Would you stay if I told you that the very heart of Aquarius carries a secret that only 4 signs in the entire zodiac can unlock with genuine depth and sacred truth? This is not a simple exploration of astrology. This is a revelation for the soul, a journey through the vast and invisible currents that shape our relationships, our destiny, and the unseen bonds that tie us to one another across lifetimes. What you are about to hear may shift something inside you, something old, something waiting to awaken. Stay with me until the final breath of this message, because every moment you remain, another part of the mystery unfolds. And I promise, what comes next belongs to you. Aquarius is unlike any other sign. They do not love the way the world expects. They do not follow the ordinary script. They do not open their hearts through force or through familiarity. Instead, they open through resonance, through intuition, through a level of spiritual frequency that few truly understand. Aquarius searches for the rare soul who can walk beside them without fear, without pressure, and without the desire to control the boundless universe that lives inside them. This is why their love feels impossible to some and divinely magnetic to others. And when you finally see why only 4 specific signs are capable of loving them with the full truth of their being, something within you will click into place. You will feel the recognition rising like a tide. Before we reveal these 4 sacred signs, we must first step into the essence of Aquarius itself. To love Aquarius is to understand the energy of forward movement, the pulse of revolution, the courage to stand alone in a world that often misunderstands the different and the extraordinary. Aquarius is the seeker, the dreamer, the visionary, the one who listens to the whispers of the universe long before anyone else can hear them. Their heart is not simply a heart. It is a gateway, a spiritual threshold, a place where humanity and higher consciousness meet, and those who love them must be prepared to cross that threshold with openness and truth. Every person who encounters an Aquarius senses something unusual, something almost celestial, something that calls the soul to attention. Some turn away because the energy feels too vast, too unpredictable, too unfamiliar. Others step closer because they feel seen in a way that defies logic. Aquarius has this gift. They can look at someone and perceive not only who they are, but who they are becoming. They fall in love with potential, with authenticity, with the soul beneath the surface. But only a select few can hold that kind of love, with the stability and depth that Aquarius requires. And now, as we begin this journey, I invite you to breathe deeply, to open your mind, and to listen with the part of yourself that understands symbols, intuition, and destiny. What you hear in the next moments is not just information, it is illumination. If any part of this beginning touches you, claim it, embrace it, and feel it. Before we continue, write this affirmation in the comments as a declaration of your energy and your truth. I honor the love that is aligned with my highest path. Aquarius is not merely a sign in the zodiac wheel. It is a phenomenon, a living pulse of cosmic electricity that moves through the world with a purpose that feels ancient, almost prophetic. When we speak of Aquarius, we are speaking of the individual who carries the vibration of tomorrow while living in the body of today. They sense what others overlook. They hear the unsaid. They feel the collective energy of humanity like a quiet but constant river beneath their consciousness. For many people, Aquarius seems distant, unpredictable, or emotionally complex. But the truth is that they are simply tuned to a higher frequency that most have never learned to recognize. When you sit with an Aquarius, you are not sitting with someone who loves the surface of life. You are sitting with someone who searches for the true architecture of the soul. They are guided by the planet Uranus, a force known for awakening, disruption, and liberation, and this planetary influence gives Aquarius the uncanny ability to perceive future patterns long before they appear in the physical world. They walk through life carrying invisible maps, reading the subtle signs of destiny, and sensing the deeper purpose behind every connection. This is why their love is so rare and so powerful. They do not fall for the ordinary. They fall for the extraordinary, for the person who makes their inner universe feel understood, validated, and inspired. In many spiritual traditions, including psychological astrology and certain Vedic interpretations, Aquarius is associated with a karmic journey of individuality. These souls often carry memories of earlier lifetimes where they stood outside the crowd, defending truth, innovation, or freedom. In this lifetime, this karmic imprint makes them fiercely independent, deeply intuitive, and resistant to anything that feels limiting. They desire a love that expands them rather than confines them. They seek a partnership that encourages their growth instead of restraining their spirit. And because of this inner calling, not everyone is equipped to share their path. Only those who understand the beauty of freedom and the authenticity of truth can hold the heart of an Aquarius without fear. Aquarius often appears calm on the outside, but within them exists an ocean of thoughts, visions, and emotions that move like shifting constellations. They do not always express these inner landscapes, not because they are cold, but because they speak a language that few people have learned to interpret. Their silence is thoughtful. Their distance is reflective. Their unpredictability is simply the expression of a mind that moves faster than most people can comprehend. And yet, for the right person, Aquarius becomes a sanctuary of clarity, inspiration, and extraordinary loyalty. When they choose to open their heart, they commit with a depth that is both shocking and transformative. To understand Aquarius is to understand that love, for them, is not performance. Love is resonance. Love is alignment. Love is the meeting of two souls who recognize each other beyond time and beyond ordinary logic. Only a few signs in the Zodiac possess the emotional intelligence, the mental agility, and the spiritual openness to match this energy. And when Aquarius finds these rare matches, their love becomes a revolutionary experience that changes both lives forever. Aquarius does not approach love the way society teaches. They do not follow the usual sequence of attachment, excitement, routine, and repetition. Their heart operates through a different system, one rooted in meaning and authentic spiritual connection. For Aquarius, love must feel like truth. It must feel like freedom. It must feel like a partnership that elevates both individuals to a higher state of awareness. They are not interested in relationships that operate through possession or dependency. Instead, they crave a connection where both people evolve, both grow, and both discover new parts of themselves along the journey. From a psychological perspective, Aquarius often experiences emotions with a unique blend of intensity and analysis. They feel deeply, but they also observe themselves feeling. This dual awareness can make their emotional expression seem quiet or restrained, even though their inner world is rich and profound. They want a partner who respects their need for space and who understands that emotional closeness does not always require physical proximity. For Aquarius, intimacy is formed through understanding, intellectual alignment, and shared purpose. In evolutionary astrology, Aquarius is seen as the sign of awakening. Their purpose is to challenge old structures, both in the world and in relationships. This means they are often drawn to people who carry individuality, courage, and originality. They do not love someone because the person fits a mold. They love someone because the person breaks it. This is why their relationships can feel unconventional or unpredictable. They are not seeking comfort. They are seeking transformation, discovery, and spiritual electricity. There is also a tender side to Aquarius, one that few people ever witness. Beneath their visionary exterior lies a surprisingly vulnerable heart. They long for a connection where they can be their full self without fear of judgment. They want someone who sees past their independence and recognizes the quiet yearning for genuine companionship. Yet, they will never beg for love, never chase approval, and never sacrifice their authenticity. They are drawn only to those who understand that freedom does not mean absence, and solitude does not mean a lack of feeling. The reason Aquarius loves differently is simple. Their soul remembers a higher version of love. They carry the memory of a connection rooted in truth, alignment, and spiritual expansion. They seek not the predictable path, but the path that awakens their destiny. And only a few signs contain the strength, wisdom, and emotional clarity to meet them in this sacred place. When Aquarius meets Gemini, something almost supernatural takes place. It is as if two frequencies that were once separated across lifetimes suddenly align and recognize each other without a single spoken word. You can almost feel the air shift around them. These two signs share a rare type of mental chemistry that cannot be forced, trained, or manufactured. It is simply there, as natural as breathing and as powerful as revelation. Gemini approaches life with curiosity, wit, and a mind that never stops opening new doors. Aquarius approaches life with vision, insight, and an instinctive connection to the future. When they meet, the world becomes a conversation that never ends, and yet never repeats itself. There is something incredibly liberating about the way Gemini interacts with Aquarius. Gemini does not demand a rigid path, nor do they cling or create unnecessary emotional walls. They move with a lightness that makes Aquarius feel safe and understood. Gemini brings color to Aquarius thought. Aquarius brings depth to Gemini imagination. Together, they form a partnership that is both intellectually stimulating and spiritually nourishing. Gemini can follow Aquarius through every mental labyrinth without getting lost, and Aquarius can help Gemini see patterns and truths that would otherwise float by unnoticed. In a world where many people struggle to understand the inner workings of Aquarius, Gemini steps in with an ease that feels almost divine. Gemini listens not only to the words, but also to the silence between them. They can sense when Aquarius needs space, when Aquarius needs inspiration, and when Aquarius needs a moment of grounding. Gemini thrives in the dance of duality, and this allows them to move in harmony with the unpredictable flow of Aquarius energy. They do not resist change, they welcome it. And this is exactly what Aquarius needs. There is a spiritual thread that runs between these two signs, a thread formed from shared air energy, intellectual freedom, and emotional independence. They connect not through possession, but through resonance. They fall in love not through force, but through recognition. Gemini can offer Aquarius a love that feels like a home for the mind, a sanctuary where ideas can breathe and evolve without fear. And Aquarius, in return, gives Gemini a sense of direction, a higher vision, a meaningful path beneath the playfulness. Together, they create something rare, something that feels both grounded and infinite at the same time. The reason Gemini can love Aquarius deeply is simple, yet profound. Gemini understands the language of the unseen. They understand that love does not require heavy chains or emotional confinement. They know that true closeness is born from freedom, curiosity, and trust. Gemini does not fear the vastness of Aquarius. Instead, they celebrate it. They do not run from the future-oriented nature of Aquarius. Instead, they join them on that journey. And in that shared journey, both discover a version of themselves that feels more authentic, more alive, and more spiritually aligned than anything they have ever known. When Aquarius encounters Sagittarius, the connection feels like a spark that turns into a horizon-wide fire. There is an immediate recognition, not of similarity, but of possibility. Sagittarius steps into Aquarius energy with confidence, curiosity, and a restless desire to explore the world in its fullest dimension. This is the type of soul who looks at Aquarius and does not see distance or emotional complexity. Instead, they see a fellow traveler, someone who also believes that life is meant to be discovered, questioned, and expanded beyond the limits of ordinary experience. Sagittarius does not fear the vastness of Aquarius. They feel excited by it. The dynamic between these two signs is incredibly powerful because they do not suffocate each other. Sagittarius understands the sacred value of personal freedom. It is part of their nature to wander, to dream, and to seek meaning in everything they touch. Aquarius, on the other hand, needs space to breathe, to think, and to create without feeling confined. When these two come together, they form a bond that feels light enough to let them grow and strong enough to keep them connected. Sagittarius brings a flame that warms Aquarius without burning them. Aquarius brings a vision that inspires Sagittarius without restraining them. There is a profound spiritual component within this pairing. Sagittarius is guided by the energy of expansion, truth-seeking, and philosophical wisdom. Aquarius is guided by innovation, clarity, and the desire to elevate consciousness. Together, they create a partnership where every conversation opens new doors, every shared experience becomes a lesson, and every disagreement transforms into a moment of growth. They do not come together to repeat old patterns. They come together to rise above them. Sagittarius encourages Aquarius to trust the adventure of life, while Aquarius helps Sagittarius see the deeper patterns hidden within every journey. One of the most beautiful things about Sagittarius is the honesty they bring into the relationship. They speak with a directness that does not wound but liberates. Aquarius appreciates this more than almost any other sign because they do not want sugar-coated truths. They want authenticity. They want clarity. They want a partner who can stand in front of them without fear or pretense. Sagittarius does exactly that. Their truth is bright, fiery, and uncontained, and that truth helps Aquarius feel safe enough to express themselves without retreating into silence. Another reason this connection runs so deep is the shared sense of mission that often forms between them. Sagittarius is a natural seeker of higher meaning. Aquarius is a natural architect of higher purpose. It is very common for these two to find themselves working together on something bigger than either of them imagined, whether it is a shared passion, a creative project, or a vision that begins as a simple idea and grows into something transformative. They motivate one another, they challenge one another, and they elevate one another. Their love is not small. Their love is not timid. Their love is expansive, bold, and alive with possibility. Sagittarius has the rare ability to love Aquarius without trying to change them. They do not take Aquarius' independence personally, and they do not mistake emotional space for rejection. Instead, they see it as part of the beauty of the connection. Sagittarius loves by encouraging, empowering, and setting the spirit free. This is exactly what Aquarius needs. The love between these two signs becomes a journey, a shared pilgrimage into truth, growth, and self-discovery. It is a love that expands the mind, awakens the heart, and aligns both souls with a greater destiny. When Aquarius meets Libra, something soft yet profound begins to unfold, almost like a quiet melody rising beneath the noise of the world. There is no rush, no pressure, and no overwhelming intensity. Instead, there is a calm recognition, a gentle understanding that feels natural from the very first moment. Libra steps toward Aquarius with grace, with patience, and with an emotional intelligence that seems almost designed by the universe to soothe the parts of Aquarius that are often misunderstood. Libra does not try to interpret Aquarius through judgment. They interpret them through balance, peace, and attentive presence. What makes Libra so powerful in the life of Aquarius is their ability to create harmony without taking away freedom. Libra wants connection, yes, but they do not demand possession. They want closeness, but they do not suffocate. Libra has mastered the art of partnership without control, and this is exactly what allows Aquarius to relax in ways they rarely do with others. Aquarius is used to feeling pressured to open up or to conform emotionally. Libra never does that. Instead, Libra opens a safe space where Aquarius can express their thoughts and feelings at their own rhythm, without fear of being misunderstood or pushed. Libra is guided by Venus, the planet of love, beauty, and harmony, and this influence gives them a natural ability to read the emotional tone of a relationship. They sense when Aquarius needs silence, when they need companionship, and when they need encouragement. They do not take Aquarius' moments of detachment personally, because Libra understands that emotional rhythm is not identical for every person. While some signs may react to Aquarius' unpredictability with insecurity, Libra remains steady. They know that the strength of a connection is measured not by constant intensity, but by steady understanding. There is a spiritual elegance in the way Libra approaches love. They see relationships as opportunities for growth, reflection, and mutual evolution. Aquarius appreciates this more than they often express. Aquarius longs for someone who can journey with them intellectually and emotionally, without needing to dominate the path. Libra becomes that partner by offering insight, fairness, and a willingness to understand both sides of every situation. Libra teaches Aquarius that emotional balance is not the opposite of independence. Emotional balance is the foundation that makes independence meaningful. When these two signs interact, their conversations often become gateways into deeper awareness. Libra brings clarity to emotional landscapes that Aquarius tends to overthink. Aquarius brings visionary thought to ideas that Libra has sensed but not fully articulated. Their minds complement each other in a way that builds connection without pressure. Libra accepts that Aquarius' movement between closeness and distance is not a sign of instability, but a natural part of their inner process. Aquarius, in turn, admires Libra capacity to remain calm, anchored and soothing without ever losing their sense of identity. The bond between Aquarius and Libra becomes a space where both can breathe, grow, and explore without fear. Libra offers emotional stability that does not feel restrictive. Aquarius offers intellectual expansion that does not feel overwhelming. Together, they create a partnership built on equilibrium, respect, and spiritual alignment. Libra becomes the gentle reflection that Aquarius did not even know they needed, a mirror that shows them their strength without amplifying their flaws. The love between them is steady, balanced, and deeply supportive, allowing both souls to rise into their best and most authentic versions. When Aquarius connects with Aries, the energy feels entirely different from the gentle harmony of Libra or the expansive adventure of Sagittarius. This time, the air sign meets pure fire, and something bold awakens inside both of them. Aries steps into the presence of Aquarius with a courage that is unmistakable. They do not hesitate, they do not question their worth, and they do not shrink from the intensity that Aquarius naturally carries. Instead, Aries walks forward with strength, authenticity, and a presence that cuts straight through the layers Aquarius often uses to protect their heart. Aries does not wait for permission to care. They simply care, and Aquarius can feel that sincerity immediately. Aries has a rare ability that few people recognize. While their fire can be impulsive, it is also incredibly honest. When they love, they do not hide it behind polite gestures or cautious strategies. They show it with passion, with energy, and with a directness that Aquarius finds unexpectedly refreshing. Aquarius is used to people tiptoeing around their emotions, trying to decode their silence or interpret their distance. Aries does none of that. Aries says exactly what they feel, exactly when they feel it, and that level of clarity becomes a breath of truth for Aquarius. The honesty of Aries becomes a pathway that helps Aquarius lower their defenses. One of the strongest reasons Aries and Aquarius form such a powerful connection is the emotional fearlessness that Aries brings. Many signs hesitate when Aquarius withdraws or becomes difficult to read. They imagine rejection when there is simply reflection. Aries, however, refuses to be intimidated by this pattern. They understand that Aquarius' inner world is deep and multifaceted. They know that Aquarius needs space not to pull away, but to recalibrate. Instead of retreating in insecurity, Aries remains anchored in authenticity. They give Aquarius room while still holding a visible line of connection, allowing Aquarius to feel safe and understood without sacrificing independence. There is a spiritual dynamic at play that makes this pairing surprising and transformative. Aries embodies raw life force and instinctive action. Aquarius embodies higher vision and intellectual clarity. When these energies combine, they spark a blend of passion and purpose. Aries ignites Aquarius with motivation, courage, and the willingness to take risks. Aquarius inspires Aries with foresight, innovation, and a sense of direction that lifts Aries beyond impulsive action. Together, they create a relationship that is both alive and purposeful, both fiery and intelligent, both grounded in action and elevated by vision. Aries also brings a protective energy into the life of Aquarius, but not in a controlling or possessive way. Instead, they protect Aquarius from self-doubt, from hesitation, and from the emotional walls that Aquarius sometimes builds out of fear of being misunderstood. Aries looks at those walls and recognizes them not as barriers, but as challenges worth facing. They do not push with force. They break through with authenticity. Their loyalty is intense, unwavering, and powerful. Aquarius, who rarely lets anyone close, begins to see that Aries' presence is not a threat to their freedom, but a reinforcement of their strength. The love between Aries and Aquarius becomes a journey of awakening. Aries awakens the dormant confidence within Aquarius, reminding them that passion and independence can exist together, that vulnerability does not equal weakness, and that boldness can be an act of faith. Aquarius awakens the higher purpose within Aries, showing them that action without meaning is not enough, and that true fulfillment comes from a partnership that expands the soul. When these two signs come together, they form a connection that is vibrant, electric, and filled with potential for growth, transformation, and spiritual elevation. When we step back and look at Aquarius from a spiritual, psychological, and energetic perspective, the reason only these four signs resonate deeply becomes unmistakably clear. Aquarius moves through the world with an unusual combination of independence, idealism, and intuitive brilliance. They are not bonded by routine. They are bonded by intellectual synergy, emotional freedom, and visionary purpose. Many signs admire Aquarius, but admiration alone cannot sustain a lasting connection. Aquarius needs someone who does not fear the vastness of their mind or the unpredictability of their spirit. They need a partner who understands that love is not control, but alignment. Gemini, Sagittarius, Libra, and Aries are the only four who naturally embody the energies that complement Aquarius without diminishing them. Gemini brings mental fluidity and curiosity, something Aquarius recognizes instantly. Sagittarius brings expansion and truth, traits Aquarius deeply respects. Libra brings harmony and understanding, which balances Aquarius' inner storms. Aries brings courageous honesty, breaking through Aquarius' emotional walls with authenticity. Each of these signs offers something essential, not superficial, not forced, but deeply aligned with the spiritual architecture of Aquarius. Another important reason is that Aquarius requires emotional intelligence that transcends old patterns. They need someone who can handle moments of silence without insecurity, someone who can walk beside them instead of trying to walk ahead or drag them behind. These four signs share an inner confidence and spiritual curiosity that gives Aquarius the room to breathe, think, and unfold naturally. They do not panic when Aquarius pauses. They do not misinterpret reflection as rejection. They simply remain present, steady, and open. This steadiness is rare, and it is precious to Aquarius. Compatibility with Aquarius is not about perfection. It is about resonance. It is about meeting someone who encourages growth rather than fearing it, someone who sees the future not as a threat but as an open gateway, someone who understands that love can be both intimate and spacious. The bond Aquarius forms with these four signs is not ordinary. It is transformative. It is evolutionary. It is soul expanding. These relationships help Aquarius become more of who they truly are, rather than shrinking themselves to fit into a smaller emotional structure. And that is the very essence of why these four are the true matches for Aquarius. To love an Aquarius is to embrace a journey that is both challenging and transcendent. It requires an open mind, a strong soul, and a willingness to see love in ways that move beyond traditional expectations. Aquarius is not impressed by surface-level attention or predictable gestures. They are moved by authenticity, by originality, and by emotional sincerity that does not demand constant display. If you wish to love an Aquarius, you must be ready to honor their space, because that space is where they create, reflect, and maintain their spiritual grounding. The most important thing to understand is that Aquarius detaches not because they do not care, but because they process emotions in their own way. They need time to think, to reorder their thoughts, to make sense of the energy they feel. If you try to force closeness during these moments, they may withdraw further, but if you show patience and trust, they will return with even greater clarity and devotion. Loving an Aquarius means respecting their rhythms and understanding that love for them is not defined by constant physical proximity, but by loyalty, truth, and spiritual alignment. You must also be willing to share your mind with an Aquarius. They fall for intellect, for insight, for the exchange of ideas that opens new doors in their consciousness. They are drawn to people who think for themselves, who carry their own passions, and who speak with purpose. They do not want someone who simply follows. They want someone who walks beside them with confidence and individuality. If you can speak your truth without fear, Aquarius will listen with both their mind and their spirit. Above all, loving an Aquarius means embracing the extraordinary. They are not here for ordinary relationships. They are here for partnership that elevates, transforms, and expands. If you can hold their hand without trying to cage their wings, if you can let them be both storm and calm, if you can see their soul beyond their silence, you will witness a version of love that few people ever experience. Loving Aquarius is a spiritual act. It is a leap of faith. It is a connection that awakens the highest potential in both hearts. There is a moment, right here at the end of this journey, when everything you have heard begins to echo with a deeper truth. It is the moment when understanding becomes wisdom, when insight becomes transformation, and when you realize that the story of Aquarius is not only about a single sign, it is about every soul that has ever felt different, every person who has ever searched for a love that frees instead of confines, every heart that has ever sensed that its purpose is greater than what the world has allowed it to believe. Aquarius reminds us that authenticity is a spiritual responsibility, that growth is not optional, and that the universe speaks through the brave, the curious, and the untamed. As we step back and look at the full picture, you can feel the intensity of the message settling into your spirit. Aquarius stands as a symbol of future consciousness, of visionary thought, of the courage to break patterns that no longer serve the collective. The 4 signs we explored are not simply compatible partners. They are spiritual allies. They are mirrors that reflect the parts of Aquarius that deserve to be honored rather than controlled. In the same way, each of us is called to find relationships that raise our vibration, that challenge us to grow, that walk beside us without dimming our fire. This is the essence of evolution, both astrological and human. Let this moment serve as a reminder that you are not here by accident. You were drawn to this message for a reason. Something inside you resonated with the truth spoken here. Something in your spirit recognized a familiar pattern or a forgotten strength. The universe has a way of placing the right words in front of the right soul at the right time. If you felt even a spark of recognition, then this was one of those moments crafted for you. Every insight you gained is a seed planted in your mind and heart, waiting to grow into the next stage of your personal journey. Aquarius teaches us that love is not meant to be a cage. Love is meant to be a catalyst. It is meant to expand you, refine you, and awaken you. True love invites you to become more, not less. It asks for honesty, not performance. It thrives in freedom, not fear. And whether you are Aquarius or simply someone who carries that rebellious spark within, you deserve a connection that recognizes your depth, your brilliance, and your spiritual potential. Never forget that the universe aligns you with souls who match your level of truth, courage, and authenticity when you refuse to settle for anything less. As we close this chapter, let your heart rise with a renewed sense of purpose. Let your spirit lift with the understanding that every experience, every connection, and every challenge you have faced has shaped you into someone capable of profound love and extraordinary insight. There is a future calling you forward, a future shaped by clarity, intuition, and fearless authenticity. Walk toward it with confidence. Walk toward it with trust. Walk toward it knowing that the universe supports every step you take in the direction of your highest self. And so, as this journey comes to a close, let these final words settle into your soul. You are powerful. You are purposeful. You are aligned with something far greater than you can imagine. The love you seek is not beyond your reach. It is destined for you when you choose to honor your truth, your light, and your spiritual path. May your heart attract only the souls who uplift your energy, expand your awareness, and walk beside you in freedom and truth. If this message moved you, inspired you, or illuminated even one corner of your inner world, I invite you to continue your journey with the other videos on this channel. Each one carries a piece of wisdom, a spark of clarity, and a guiding light crafted to help you rise even higher. Your evolution does not end here. It continues with every new insight you allow yourself to receive.